Hey, welcome back, everyone. It is time for another red hot covered call video. Well, hey, look, I have a treat for you today. I'm going to reveal my new one stock, 1 week, $1,000 challenge. We are going to use the weekly covered call or cash secure put to generate $1,000 a week. And what we're going to do is try to do this for 10 weeks. Now, I'm going to show you the stock that I picked. We're going to talk about my most recent trade for which I've already placed. And I'll tell you what, I'm already achieving my goal. And I'm going to show you how you can be a part of it. You know, when I did my last challenge earlier in the year, I used the 3X leveraged ETF UPRO. And I was able to do that for 13 weeks. And I was able to generate over $19,500. Everybody was excited. And to be honest with you, every time I put out an update video, those videos got some of the most views I've had in a while. So I know you're excited about generating weekly paychecks selling premium. And this is what I do on this channel. So if you've never been to my channel, do understand, love buying and holding stocks. But what I specialize in is selling premium. I use my shares. I give somebody the right, but not the obligation to take those shares away from me. I get paid a per share premium, or I use my cash to be assigned somebody's shares. I get paid a per share premium. We actually get paid cash in our accounts. We can spend it. And that's what I love about selling premium, because a lot of times when we talk about buy and hold, for which I do have a buy and hold portfolio, we find ourselves not being able to really spend any of that money. Right? When you buy a stock at 100 and it goes to 150, if you don't realize those gains, that's just pie in the sky. And I'll tell you what, had you bought 3M at 200 and rallied it to 250, right now you'd feel like you got kicked in the ribs with it trading at about 170. So what I love to do is use stocks like 3M. I buy them. I then write a 30-day covered call. If the trade plays out where my shares are taken away higher, and I collect the per share premium in cash in my account, well, we'll do it again. And if my shares aren't taken away, well, we'll look to write the next covered call. We use opportunities in the stock market to generate cash. So that's what I do here. So if any of this interests you, I want you to subscribe to the channel. It's right there and it's free. And I'll tell you what, I come back weekly showing you my trades. We talk about them. So maybe you learn something. And hey, look, if you like this video today, bang that like button. It lets me know you like what I'm doing. And what I'm doing is this year is unbelievable. With a goal of $55,000, I'll tell you what, the fact that I'm almost at $100,000 in this year for which the stock market collapsed, the Dow fell some 50%, I'll tell you what, I'll take it every time. You know, right now the S&P's only up about 10 or 11%, yet I'm up some 43 and 44% this year selling premium, cash on cash. This money right here is not pie in the sky. I need to sell the shares to realize the gain. That is real money booked in the account. That's what gives me that conviction that if I were in retirement, I could do this. I could take a portion of my portfolio and use it to sell premium, and I can actually generate real life-changing money, or money that I could pay bills or maybe just live the good life. That's why I do this. I come back every week largely to motivate and inspire you. So I hope if anything you take away, I try to come here, motivate and inspire you so you'll get motivated to go out and do your research. Maybe you open that small ball account and maybe you'll get off the bench and do your very first successful trade. And at that point, you will have taken your financial future in your own hands. We're doing a new challenge. We're doing the 1 week, one stock, $1,000 paycheck challenge, where what I'm going to do is pick a stock. And as you can see, it's going to be DraftKings. And I'm going to explain a little bit why I'm picking DraftKings versus a leveraged ETF. I want to give you an opportunity to at least follow these trades. One of the criticisms I got last time when I did the UPRO trade, a lot of people do not want to trade leveraged ETFs. They just can't get over the hurdle of the fact that they're really volatile. Didn't even matter that I explained the fact that we were trading the S&P 500 leveraged 3x and that the S&P 500 was at the bottom and we were rallying it higher. It doesn't matter. Leveraged ETF is just something people don't want to touch. And I get it. Not me. I made almost $19,500 in a 13-week period using UPRO. Now, a lot of people wanted me to sort of tip them off as to my next trade. As you know, my premium membership is not a stock picking service. But I'll tell you what, I communicate with all my members, letting them know what I'm doing. That's a part of the membership. A lot of communications are sent where I talk about stock market commentary. I'll give my take on a stock pick that somebody else submitted to me. And I'll show you what I'm watching, right? Seeing the world through John's eyes. So when I came up with my next challenge, largely I wanted to do this challenge to keep me motivated. Yeah, when you've traded some 150 to 200 times this year, it can start to get boring. And I don't want to sound flippant here, but I got to re-energize myself. And this 1 week challenge always does that. So I decided this time I'm going to let people know. I'm going to let people know what I'm going to do, and I'm going to send some pre-emails and post-emails. We're going to do this for 10 weeks. So for those that want to follow the trade or actually do it, now I'm not advocating that you follow me, but the point is I know people are. So what I want to do is help you up your game. So if you go back to my website, cptdashboard.com, click on Upgraded Dashboard, sign up. I give you 1 free month. As soon as you sign up, you're going to be a part of this 1 week, $1,000 challenge, okay? A lot of people have already signed up for that because they know that the UPRO trade was pretty good. And I'll tell you what, the DraftKings trade is already profitable. Now, before I show you the chart and talk to you about why I picked DraftKings, I created a $1,000 challenge tracker page. If you remember during the UPRO challenge, I showed you a tracker page for which I updated it every single time I made a trade. I gave some commentary. A lot of people love that commentary. They wanted to see the world through my eyes. Why did I pick that premium, that stock price at that moment? Because trust me, with stocks like DraftKings and UPRO that are a little more volatile, you could actually pick some out of the money strikes that still pay $1. Yet I was picking some at the money and even in the money strikes, still able to pick up that $1. I'm using 1,000 shares, so I'm able to pocket that $1,000. So I always love to give a little commentary. So here in my blog, cptdashboard.blogspot.com, you see it right there. I'm going to update this blog. I actually lay the ground rules for this 1K challenge because a lot of people do not understand my mindset. A lot of people do not get the idea that a trade does not end unless I say it ends, right? So I'm going to use DraftKings for 10 weeks, whether I own the shares or I got to buy new shares or I do a cash secure put. This is all considered one trade, okay? Some of you nitpickers out there might say, oh, well, you had your shares taken away. That's one trade gone. No, this is a collective. And the idea here is I'm using DraftKings only for the next 10 weeks. Can I average $1,000 a week? That'd be $10,000. And I'll tell you what, if I even get close to that, man, that's success in my book. And in fact, my very first trade this week exceeded $1,000 a week. And as I scroll down, you're going to see that all the tallies will be ongoing and you'll see what trades are active. Now, let me say something. I will be owning shares and I'll be writing covered calls. I'll be buying them back and writing more covered calls. But I'll also use the cash. When I did the UPRO $1,000 week challenge, there were a couple times where I did some cash secure puts. The market's starting to fall. I had my shares taken away. I did a cash secure put. The key is we are selling premium. This isn't a covered call challenge. This is a selling premium challenge. So I'm going to use all the tools in my toolkit. So as you can see, my running totals right now for my stock appreciation on this trade, because my cost basis is about $23.25, this particular trade would net me about $250 if my shares are taken away. And the premium, I got $1 on 1,000 shares. That's almost $1,000. So as you can see, the total between the two for week 1 if my shares are taken away, will be $1,248 week one. Now, of course, you know what I'll do. On Friday, I'll probably buy another 1,000 shares. I mean, if these shares are going to be going away, right? Somebody's going to take them from me. I'll go ahead and buy another 1,000 shares. I'll then write the next Friday covered call. So I can have this thing going within that 5 to 6 day period. I want to do this every single week. This is the idea, the weekly $1,000 challenge, because I know so many of you want to make those weekly paychecks. Now let's spend just a little bit of time as to why I picked DraftKings. First of all, you need to know my history. I have been playing DraftKings for probably the past 2 months, and I did a nice wheel strategy where I did a great cash secure put. Turns out I was never assigned the shares, but I did buy some shares and I've been able to make some money with it. If you remember last week's video, I bought some shares for my son, and he actually has written 2 covered calls. I'll tell you what, DraftKings is one of my favorite stocks, largely because as we get past the pandemic, a company like DraftKings that really makes all its money with sports betting and fantasy sports, we're going to get all those sports back next year. I mean, hey, God willing, if we can have a somewhat normal life next year, all the sports are going to come back and DraftKings is going to benefit from it. So when I did that video where I actually picked DraftKings way back here when it was trading at about 36, this thing has rallied to some $63. It peeled back because of a couple reasons. But as you can see, it's starting to catch a little bit of action again, and here we go. So I picked DraftKings because if people are actually going to follow me on these trades, some of you might have some small ball accounts where you only have $5,000 or $10,000. So a stock like DraftKings, for which at the time I did this trade, could have got 100 shares for $4,200, it gets you in the game, okay? Now, I'm not advocating DraftKings, and if you do a trade based on what anybody says on YouTube without doing your homework, well, to be honest with you, you're not smart enough to trade stocks. Now, I say that with all due respect, because I want you to understand we have to be accountable. We have to be accountable. So if you're going to go out and buy a stock, you have to understand. You have to do your research, right? Because at the end of the day, you're holding this stock. And DraftKings, as you can see, can absolutely be volatile. Okay, if you can't handle a couple point swing here or there on a stock like Apple, for example, then you're really not going to be able to play with stocks like DraftKings. But with that said, if you are going to get in the game and you might be interested in using a company like DraftKings, do understand the risks. Now, with that said, that's exactly what I did last Friday. When it was trading at about $42.50 last Friday, I decided we were doing this challenge. And I felt that DraftKings had fallen just enough to the point where we had some great support here, and there was more upside than downside. Now, if I pulled out the Keltner channel, I guarantee you it traded under the mid. I love buying my stocks when the stock is trading under the Keltner channel mid. And I'll also tell you the RSI was trading in the 30s. So for me, that's more oversold than overbought, right? So I feel like I'm buying this stock with less fluff. And that's key, because as we write these out of the money covered calls, we want that stock trade sideways to higher, right? And that's exactly what I get with DraftKings. Now, I didn't place the trade on Friday. I actually wanted $1.25 for an option I was trying to sell. I did not get it. So I was left holding a stock that actually had fallen off. This thing was down like $1.30 yesterday. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I made a mistake. I shouldn't have gotten greedy on Friday. I should have taken that price that I could have gotten. I'd have made my $1,000. We would have moved on to this Friday's expiration, and then we would have managed the trade. Well, I catch a little bit of break as DraftKings bounces off that bottom and it starts to move a little bit higher. Sure enough, I'm able to sell the $43.50, which is 25 cents above my stock purchase price of $43.25. And I was able to get $1 full for that. It's expiring this week, November 20th. When you combine the 25-cent stock appreciation and the $1 in premium on 1,000 shares, that is for week number 1, and I'm already on track having another successful challenge. But look, we still have a lot of time left in this challenge, so anything can happen. And before I get going, a lot of you are thinking, well, look, you just held the shares, okay? Look, I want to put this to rest right now. Had I just held the shares, of course I'd be up some 4 points. But had I just held the shares at 63 when the thing fell all the way down to 37, do you remember what I said at the beginning of this video? I sell premium. Okay, so please do not comment below had you just held the shares. I sell premium. We're looking to generate $1,000 a week. Now look, you can tell I'm excited. I absolutely love it when I can use my skill doing a weekly trade. And in fact, that's one of the things with that UPro trade. I got to use multiple exit strategies. In fact, there was one trade where I had to roll down for a credit, got absolutely lucky, and the stock rocketed higher. I mean, I was using exit strategies almost every other week, and it really honed those skills. I'll tell you what, that is what it's all about. Learning a skill and being able to profit from it. And I absolutely love it. So I want you to join me. If you go back to my website, cptdashboard.com, and you click the upgraded dashboard, I'm going to give you 1 free month. Join us. You're going to get added to the list. I want you to do this now because we've already started the challenge. We're going to send those emails pre and post trades. We're going to have some commentary. We're going to talk about it. And even if you don't do the trade, you're going to get a little closer to it, right? You're going to get a little comfortable with it. You're going to see how I place these trades and why I place them. So the next time we do this, you might find yourself off the bench and in the game. Hey, look, I'm going to leave it right there for this video. I'm going to give you an update on this trade. We're going to talk more about the weekly paycheck because I know so many people want to make weekly income, whether it's that little $100 crumb or hell, maybe you want to make $1,000 a week like I am. Look, I want you to be a part of it. So look, if you like what you heard today, I want you to subscribe to the channel. It's right there and it's free. And hey, look, bang that like button. It lets me know you like what I'm doing. And if you go to Facebook, I think you'll be surprised at how often I update the group at my Facebook group, CPT Dashboard. I'd love to welcome you aboard. Hey, look, be safe, be healthy. Most important, be lucky. Until next time, may all your covered calls be profitable.